Okay, we're back with Hunter, and today we're going to be doing the week 1, day 1 of the strength phase of the OPT model. And the first exercise we're going to do after our warm-up, which again included the foam rolling, the kickouts, the floor touches, lunges, high knees, butt kicks, all those types of exercises that will warm her body up for today's program. And the first exercise we're going to do is a speed, agility, and quickness drill, and it's known as the 5-10-5 drill. You can use cones. We actually are just using hurdles because that's what I had in here today. So she's going to start at the middle hurdle. She'll sprint to the number 2 hurdle, which is orange. When she gets to that hurdle, she's going to back pedal all the way to this orange cone or hurdle, and as soon as she sees this hurdle, she's going to change directions again and sprint forward till the middle. So it would be 5 to the orange, 10 back to the first orange, and then 5 to the middle yellow. 1 repetition is 1 complete. And then you would do 4 sets of this drill. Ready, set, go. And if you are outside or if you're in the gym, you can space these out farther. We're just doing this for a quick change of direction. And one thing I did notice is when she gets there, she kind of stutter steps and then starts back up. You want them to sprint all the way to the next point. As soon as they get to it or they see it out of their peripheral vision, they're going to put on the brakes and go right back in the opposite direction. Okay, we're going to do it one more time to see if she does it better. Make sure you're using those arms and legs. Stay low to the ground. Okay, this is a nice quick speed drill. Set, go. There you go. Okay, and again, she would rest, and 1 full 5-10-5 is a repetition, and she would complete 4 sets of these. And the next exercise she's going to do is going to be a core exercise. Actually, the next 2 can be considered core exercises, but the first one's going to be a core, and then the next one is going to be more working on flexibility. Again, because she's a pole vaulter, when she does this exercise, her legs are going to actually be a little bit different than somebody that is not a pole vaulter, and I'll explain that as soon as we get over there. But she's going to go to the bench, and she's going to do a reverse crunch, and then a reverse crunch with a hip rotation. And the reason why she needs to be able to rotate is because once she gets in the air, she has to make her body rotate in the air, and she actually comes down facing the direction she was running from. And when she does these, we would have her do 2 sets of regular reverse crunches, and she would do 10 of those, and then she would do 2 sets of the reverse crunch with the hip rotation, and she would do 10 of those. After the set, she would have a 60-second rest. Okay, Hunter is set up on the bench, and she's going to bring her bottom to the end where about her waistline is going to be on it. And there's 2 different ways you can do this. She can go ahead and she's going to lay back. And if you have a beginner that doesn't necessarily have a super strong core, they can keep their legs bent, and that will compact some of their weight so it won't feel like they are lifting so much or putting so much pressure on the abdominal core. So go ahead and go, and I'll show you a couple of those. Okay, so both legs are up. She's going to bring just barely her tailbone off. Go ahead and go down. It's just a crunch. You're not holding it. Okay, and as your athlete gets stronger, they're going to straighten their legs out. Okay, and they're going to do the crunch. Again, they need to bring their legs back down, almost parallel. You don't want them to drop and hit the floor. But after she did a set of 10, she would rest for 60 seconds. She would do another 10. Okay, go ahead and rest. She would do another 10 of just the normal reverse crunch. She would rest for 60 seconds, and then because Hunter, like we stated earlier, is a pole vaulter, she does a reverse crunch with a hip rotation. And this, again, is because she does need to face the same direction that she started running from. So Hunter's going to tell us which leg is her jumping leg or her lead leg.
My jumping leg is my right leg.
Okay, so her right leg in this exercise is actually going to be out straight, and she's going to bend her her drag leg, or the leg that she kicks. So sometimes it's known as a kicking leg. So as she goes up, she's going to have her right leg out straight. She's going to have her left leg bent. And as she does the crunch here in just a second, she's going to rotate her hips. So as she goes to my right, her left, her right toe is going to go towards the left bar. And as she does the hip rotation to the opposite side, her left knee that's up is going to go towards her right shoulder. So go ahead and go, and she'll alternate directions. Okay. And again, they don't have to go super far up. You just need that hip rotation as she goes down. Okay, and as you can tell, she has a little bit more control going to her left because that's the way she turns when she pole vaults. And again, you would do 2 sets of 10 repetitions with 60 seconds rest in between. Okay, go ahead and take your rest. And again, that is a core exercise. Again, it's specifically for pole vaulters. That's why it has the hip rotation. But it can be also used for high jumpers, anybody that needs to pivot mid-motion. The next exercise she's going to do is a flexibility exercise, and we like to call it the windshield wiper, and that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like her legs are doing windshield wipers. It also helps with core as well, but for this instance, again, it's going to be more of a flexibility exercise. So she's going to put a little bit more of her bottom on the bench and take a little bit of that pressure off of her core. And as they get stronger, again, they can always come out. She's going to lay back, and she's going to start this exercise again as a beginner would with her legs bent in a tabletop position. So go ahead and put them up there. Okay, when I mean tabletop, she's got hers bent. They need to be out. Okay, so like as if this was the top of the table and these were the table legs. And just like windshield wipers, she's going to take her body from the left to the right. Okay, and then she'd go back. These are really easy to do. They're actually probably easier to do on the floor. Okay, why don't you do that? Why don't you go ahead and go to the floor? And you can have how she has her arms to the side. You can do that. Or you can put them in the T position. That's a little bit easier for stability. So go ahead and put them in the T position. Okay, and you don't want their legs to flop off the ground or their knees to hit the ground, but you want them to get as close as they can. Okay, go ahead and rest. Again, a flexibility exercise. We like to call the windshield wiper. And she would do 3 sets of 10 each direction with 60 seconds rest in between. As they have their legs bent and it's not necessarily as hard as they're getting out of those beginning phases, you can shorten the rest to maybe 30 seconds, or you can have them straighten their legs out. So Hunter, you need to shift a little bit more to the middle so that you don't hit your legs on that bench. Okay, again, you want to make sure that it's safe for your athlete. Okay, she's going to go ahead and raise them up, and then she's going to bring them down to the left and right like windshield wipers. Okay, I like to tell my athletes, you need to pick one position to make sure you're breathing in and one position to make sure you're breathing out so that they're not trying to hold their breath the entire exercise. Try to get lower to the ground. If you have to bend your knees a little bit, that's fine. Again, this is working on flexibility to help her rotate over the bar when pole vaulting. There you go, that's a good one. Okay, go ahead and rest. Again, that is a flexibility exercise known as the windshield wiper. And you would do 3 sets of 10 with 60 seconds rest in between. And the last exercise that we're actually going to do 2 more exercises, but they are somewhat similar as the last 2 exercises were. So the first one is going to be a balance exercise, and it's just a step up to balance. And we're going to use the box over here that is 20 inches. And when she does this, she will alternate here in a minute. You either need to put the box to where your feet can be on the pad, or you're going to need to bring it off to where you don't accidentally step half on, half off. Okay. And with this exercise, she is going to step up with each leg 8 times for 3 complete sets. And again, a complete set is once she's done it with her right leg and her left leg 8 times. And in between the sets, she would rest for 30 seconds. Okay, so as she steps up to balance, okay, she's going to go, and her other leg is going to go up, and then she'll go down. She's going to hold that for 3 seconds, and she'll alternate feet. Make sure they step down. Don't let them jump down, especially jump down on one foot. Get that balance. Make sure you hold it until you come down. Okay, try to stay close to that box. You don't want to stride out real far. And try not to bounce when you land. One more with that foot. Okay, go ahead and come down. Again, that's a balancing drill, or a drill to help maintain the body's balance. Go ahead and come down. Okay, go ahead and come down, turn around. Again, that's a balance drill, and this strength training exercise. So she's also, although she's maintaining balance with her body, she's strengthening her legs, going up one at a time. Again, while doing this drill, make sure your athlete's not jumping down, because that can increase the risk of ACL injury. Jumping down on this, you can tell that the floor is not the same, so you want to make sure they step down nicely, that their entire foot can reach onto the black pad, or that the box is scooted away to where their entire foot comes down on the turf. The next exercise we're going to do is kind of a continuation of this, except for it's going to be 2 legs. And it is a squat drill that is repetitive. We did the squat jump drill in the stabilization phase, so this is the next part of that drill, and it is the strength. So it's going to be continuous. The only thing is if she does lose her balance, she needs to make sure she maintains control and balance before starting again. You don't want to risk injury because they're wanting to just complete the motion. So she's going to go ahead and she's going to get down in a squat position. It'll be repetitive 10 times, and then she'll get her rest. Go ahead and go. Try to stay in the same spot. You're not jumping forward. Nice landing. Okay, go ahead and rest. Maintain balance. Okay, while she's getting her rest, again, that is a repetitive squat jump drill. That is a plyometric exercise for the strength training model, or the strength training phase of the OPT model.